Good morning, everybody, and welcome to All Access. This is Simeon on a beautiful July Monday morning, July the 14th. And I just want to allow just a few minutes for everybody to come in. We were running a couple minutes late this morning because of my internet connection. And it's typically when I'm in this office that this happens, and I don't know why, because when we tested it super fast, but for some reason, whether it's my computer or Zoom or what have you, it's always giving me a little bit of an issue. As we go through the webinar, it seems to be working now. And if anybody on the call has the ability to just confirm they can see me, hear me okay, also feel free to let me know if it is happening so I can repeat something if it doesn't come through. And of course, make sure that we cover everything off the way we mean to. Good morning, Tanya, Lindsay, Aaron, Ellen, and to the panelists and to the support staff behind. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning to support us. Today, I am going to be covering week 4 of the cold outreach program that we have been working on. We have gone through, significant ground with setting up your business, the reason behind everything. And today is no difference. This week, we're going to focus on cold calling. And I'm kind of putting you guys through the motions of all the things that agents don't typically like. Door knocking, open houses and putting so much effort behind them. Now cold calling. I want everybody to just kind of think why I go so hard on these things and why they're so important, in my opinion. And the reason for these lessons and the reason for this logic is because if you want to build an independent business that's founded on sound principles, you have to create an environment that can thrive in. Cold calling, cold outreach. That means that you are trying to go from zero to something. You're going from zero because these people don't know who you are, that you exist, and their phone is going to ring and it's going to be you on the line. That's a cold call, which is why I've emphasized all the other verticals first, meaning our warm database, people who know us and trust us, people who have heard of us before, people, anything. But cold calling is an absolute tool that has been used since the beginning of phones to establish commercial services. Call it the annoying calls of air duct cleaning to everything you can think of. That's a cold call. They're just hoping to catch you at a time that you may need a service. So cold calling in real estate, if you think of the fact that we sell the most expensive thing on the planet, there is no higher sales price for anything. Real estate is the top of the food chain when it comes to sales. Whether it's residential, commercial, tropical, luxury, doesn't matter what. We are selling the most expensive asset on earth. And if that's what we're selling, and we expect a cold call to become something that is going to trigger a transaction, you have to understand how serious you must take your work. As if somebody calls me and I'm going to buy a house today. That's not the success measure you're looking for. So what are we looking for? How do we set up a key performance or a key metric at all to gauge our success? I think what we're looking to do, or what we should be looking to do, is simply how many conversations can I have today with people that I've never met? How many people can I add to my database where I'm going to nurture them, educate them over time, engage them in real life belly-to-belly scenarios? How many calls would I need to make? And how do I make someone interested in what I have to say? Today, I'm going to cover off a few of the very traditional scripts of what you can say. I'll give you some of the simian scripts because I speak differently. I always have and I always will. Meaning, I like to portray a type of confidence and knowledge in a market that typically gets someone's attention. And I use specific words, specific tone, just like I'm doing right now. So my goal as a mentor to agents or as a trainer is to exude confidence for you to believe that what I have to say is something that can help you. That's my goal. So my goal on a cold call is to have somebody who's never heard of my name before take interest in what I have to say. So with that being the case, how important is it to open that call on the right foot? How important is it to not say, "Hi, Mr. or Mrs. Smith. Is this the right time for a call?" They don't even know who you are. And of course, they're going to say, "No, I'm busy." This is the mindset that I want you to get into. How do we get away from that and get into a more successful outcomes in conversations? Because I'll read you scripts and I will teach you my scripts, and you're going to find yourself somewhere in the middle. So, certain things will resonate with you, certain things won't. But at the end of the day, you are going to find yourself, taking it down the path. And there's a million ways to role play and practice cold calling. And that's how that skill gets better and better. Role playing and scripting and practicing makes a huge difference in this game. Specifically, it makes a difference because your confidence will increase. The no's won't matter so much. So what I want to do is I definitely want you to understand that cold calling is it's an art. It's a skill set that can make you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars if done consistently and if done properly, like anything else. So understanding that most agents hate cold calling is can be one of your biggest advantages. If you're the only person calling into a neighborhood or calling a specific list, and nobody else wants to, that immediately makes you the one holding the chips because you'd be the only service provider calling them for this reason. Direct human contact on the phone is far superior to a text. I think we can all agree to that. There's a time and place where a text could be effective, but direct human communication cuts through digital noise. If I'm speaking to somebody, things are going to happen. If I'm DMing someone or texting someone, it's a whole different series of events. So that alone is enough reason for you to really consider cold calling as an option to grow your business. And let's never forget that every single call you make, every conversation you have, is your opportunity to put your brand and what you stand for in front of somebody. It is a branding opportunity. So, what can we expect from making calls? How many calls do you need to make? The answer is you should be able to get 30 to 50 calls in a day. You should expect on the best performers will get about 10 conversations in those 30 to 50 calls. Because there's going to be leaving messages, not leaving messages, etc. And you can expect the best of the best to close 1, 2, or 3 into actual meetings. So if I were to make 50 calls right now, I know as a fact I would have probably around 10 conversations. Out of the 10 conversations, me being a confident senior broker, know that I would actually close 2 to 3 appointments. And if I did that, I would be ecstatic. If I got one, I would be okay. If I got none, I would get up and do it again tomorrow because something's wrong. But do not expect that you're going to close more than 2 or 3 meetings out of 10 conversations because nobody's looking to sell their house every day. Nobody's looking to buy their house every day. Not everybody's looking to talk to you. So let's be realistic with what we expect from something in order to have the mental capacity to accept the no's and treat the yeses with the utmost respect, timely information, and a great conversation. Because that's what you want them to take away from it. You want the consumer to walk away saying, man, I like that guy. He had a lot of good stuff to say. He sounds fun. Or she sounds professional. Or she sounds this, that. What is it you're looking to establish your brand as? That's what you want the consumer to take away as you nurture and follow up with them and book them into an appointment. I think there's some very big things. Sorry, I see a chat here. How do I come up with hooks that really click with people and actually get them to talk? It's like Fizzbos and expired listings. How should I just? Okay. Aaron and Tanya, I just saw your questions now, and I will definitely answer them. I'm going to just quickly go to my section 2 of this lesson. I just want to mention a couple of things that are super important. And then I'm going to go directly to your questions because this is what the lesson is about. As part of this lesson, I have to tell both my Canadian colleagues and my American colleagues that we're governed differently with different laws. In Canada, we have the CRTC. In the US, we have the FCC. There's a national do not call registry in both countries. There are restrictions in times from state to state, from province to province. There is many ways that people can opt out of these calls, and you must identify yourself fully, legally, to your state or province's specifications. So 90% of offices I've ever been to in Canada or the US, the broker of record, the manager of the office, will have the compliance terms for your state, province, or territory. And if you just ask them to review them, you will be able to have a very good understanding. It's very clear. Like the do not call lists are very important. You start calling people into a do not call list, you can get fined, you can lose your license. There's all sorts of nonsense that can arise of it. So the only thing I would tell you before I move to the questions to our students here is the best practices are simple. Use scrubbed and verified call lists if you're just buying lists or you're being provided one from the office. Log all your attempts and your notes. If you're going to import people into your CRM, you want to know what you've done, what you haven't done, in order to qualify what works and what hasn't. So as the quarters go by and we're going to be doing our quarterly check-in, what worked, what didn't work? What did I get out of cold calling this quarter? If you have your notes, if you have your tags all into your CRM, you'll be able to make great business decisions faster and be able to pivot quicker in order to always stay effective. When calling, you want to always be respectful. You want to be as short as possible while still maintaining great conversation. Always identify yourself clearly because you want them to remember your name. Last but not least, if somebody is rude and tells you do not call them again, you would be surprised at how many people will call them back just out of spite. Whether it's normal human pettiness or silliness. As a professional, if somebody says something rude on the phone, move on. Never call them again. Our only goal is to succeed and have a positive conversation and outcome to get us into an appointment. But when you're robotically calling 20, 30, 40 calls later, you start changing. And that's maybe when you should stop calling. So if people start getting to you, you're on your last nerve, stop making calls. Walk away, go for a run, go for a walk, go for lunch. But never fall into the pitfalls of cold calling, which do happen to a lot of people. And I'm only mentioning this because I've seen it so many times from people you would never expect. And that's because after a certain amount of time, you get rattled and you make poor choices. Your patience wears thin and you expect a faster, stronger result. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover before I get into these questions. Now, I'm going to start with Aaron's question. Hey, everyone, if I'm targeting different types of leads like FSBOs, expired listings, how should I adjust my approach to really connect with each group? Well, FSBOs and expireds are two worlds apart. Expireds are people who trusted an agent. The agent, whether it's the market or their incompetence, did not get the job done. The listing went stale. The listing got tired and it expired. What do we know about these people? They're not on the market. They were on the market, but they're not on the market. What I'm doing right now, Aaron, is I'm creating business logic. What do I know about this person? Well, I'm looking at my MLS. I see they were with Remax before. I'm at Century 21, for example. They were with Remax before. I see what agent. I know the agent, or I don't know the agent, but the agent did not get the job done. The agent did not put the puck in the net. Don't care why. Overpriced, don't take the listing. Bad market, work harder. Unreasonable seller, I guess we'll find out after I call him. So, how should I adjust my approach to really connect with each group? That starts with understanding the mindset you're about to face. Aaron, the understanding that when I call, and I'm going to use my assistant's name, Tamika. If I'm calling Tamika and I know she was on market for almost 90 days, she had very little action. I drove by the house or whatever the case may be, looked it up on Google Maps. House looks decent. What should I say to her to get her attention? And I would be happy to do this live with you. This would be a great thing to do live because there's nothing like real life sellers and real life action. But I'll tell you exactly what I would do. So if the phone rings and Tamika answers, I'm going to say, "Good morning, Tamika. My name is Simeon Papailias, and I'm with Royal LePage Signature Realty out of Don Mills in Toronto. I was looking through the neighborhood. Your neighborhood is my neighborhood, or this is an area that I work closely with a lot of people in. And I do see that you were listed between April and 2 weeks ago, June 30th. Now, I do see the home did not sell. Is it because you no longer are looking to sell?" She may say a few things. She might say, "We have decided to keep the home. The market is simply way too difficult to sell in right now, and the prices are down anyways." A natural follow-up question to that would be, "I completely understand. I agree with you. It is a very difficult market. But I will tell you the difference is that our team works extremely hard and we are getting results." So my question to you, Tamika, is if you had an offer to sell, if I brought you an offer for $500,000 right now, would you sell the home or you're no longer looking to sell the home? And the reason I ask is because I'm putting a campaign together for your neighborhood. They're going to be like, what do you mean a campaign? But now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now I have made an impression. I actually made her an offer, a non-existent, hypothetical. But to her, I'm starting to be a deal maker. We're talking. I didn't say, is this a good time to talk? I didn't ask her if it's convenient for her to talk right now. Let her tell me that it's a bad time and schedule a time. But even if she did that now, I'm already 3 minutes in. I've already made my impression. I have told her that I'm a neighborhood expert. That's why I'm calling. I just want to understand what's going on in my neighborhood. We have never had the pleasure of meeting before. Miss Tamika, Miss Expired Seller. I just want to make sure I understand what's happening because I did have someone who was looking for your type of home. I'm just not sure if that's still the case. And I just wanted to check in. There's a million ways you can skin this cat. But you want to stay on the phone. Now let's go to the FISBO. Aaron, just to answer your question, because I'm answering this question for everybody. And please give me a heads up in the chat, guys, if you're enjoying where I'm taking this for all of you. Aaron, to go to FISBOs. Okay, this is great. So going to FISBOs. Why did I say they're world apart? The expired is a person who trusted an agent who couldn't get the puck in the net. He's disappointed. For sale by owner does not respect you. A person who is willing to handle their own asset, one that they've never transacted before, and believe they can do as good of a job or better than you, tells you one thing. They don't believe that your work is valuable to the extent of what they need to pay you. $1 million home, 2% commission is $20,000. Well, let's use the same seller, Tamika. Tamika does not believe that my service is worth $20,000. So she's going to go online and for $999, she's going to buy a package that's going to get her property on the MLS from a discount broker, a bunch of nonsense in a box that she has no clue what to do and what's going to happen, but it sounded good on the website. What do you think I can say to Tamika the FISBO right off the bat if I know she does not trust me? She might even hate agents. There are people who I have met multiple times that have this crazy out to get the agent mentality. What do you think I would say to those people? Or once I discover they are that person, do you think I'm going to be petty? Do you think I'm going to be petty and try to convince them why agents are so good and they should use me? Or do you think I would hang up faster than you know and move on to the next FISBO that I can get on the phone with and actually have a conversation? So let me tell you the rules of how this works. FISBOs, it's a very simple conversation. Miss Tamika, good morning. My name is Simeon Papailias, and I'm with Royal LePage Signature. You have recently listed your home on the MLS using yourself as the agent. Am I correct? That is correct, Simeon, is what Tamika says. The very next thing I'm going to say is, Tamika, I am looking for homes just like this in this situation right now to bring to market. If I told you that I can do a tremendous job in getting your home sold, is the issue the commission or is the issue you enjoy doing this type of work? So let's nail it down. I think this is a tremendous opportunity for me and for you. For me, it's the opportunity to earn my living. For you, it's an opportunity to sell your house likely $30,000 to $50,000 more than you would by yourself. Because there's a number of studies that show that somebody negotiating their own, it's like me selling my own home as a realtor. How can I do that? The other agent will know that I'm an agent and I have a conflict of interest. It's the same thing. But again, if you guys have noticed something, we're talking. I'm making hypothetical situations, but I can guarantee you that those continue. They don't hang up. If I call, most people don't hang up. I keep them on the phone. That's a skill. That's not natural to anyone. I've had enough people hang up on me. I've made thousands upon thousands of calls where I know how to stay on the phone. I make things up. I keep going. But I make things up that work, not lies. I make things up to carry the conversation. Meaning, what can I help you with? Once I isolate, yes, it's the commission. I don't believe you need to charge me 20,000 to sell my home. Okay, well, now we're getting somewhere. So if your house is $1 million and I sell it for $1,050,000, you would be mad at paying me 20 grand when you will sell it for 975 on your own. I just want to understand the logic. It's really difficult to fight that statement. It's very difficult to justify why you would want to do something you've never done before if I can bring a solution forward. So, to Aaron's point, and to this class, please, when you're going to make calls, calls are an art, they're a science that require repeat practice and skill building. You can ask ChatGPT and Gemini and all the bots for scripts, and you're going to get thousands of them. Use them. If you don't have your own, develop your own as you go. As a resource today, you're going to get a few of our scripts. But the point that Aaron was making, how should I adjust my approach to really connect with each group? You have to reverse engineer, take 10 minutes, and think who you're calling. Expireds, disappointed in you. FSBOs, don't trust you. Very, very big difference. Expireds are way easier to convert because they've done it before. If you gave me a list of expireds versus FSBOs, I would take expireds all day. The reason I would take expired all day, A, they've been converted to a listing before. B, they're likely tired and beat up. I'll have better success with the price reduction right off the hopper. Make the product more engaging, more likable. I can convince them to clean up, to do better. Please leave for showings. Don't be in the house, where before they were always in the house. Like, you can find things. But let's say you're like, whatever you're like, if let's say you're a commercial agent and you're calling businesses, whatever the case may be, just think who I'm calling, what value can I bring instantly, how can I stay with them on the phone if my only goal is to simply book an appointment to meet. I am calling you because I'm interested in working with you. It's a huge opportunity for me, massive. Let them know what they mean to you. Let them know how grateful you are for the opportunity to even speak to them. I'm getting calls now from AI. Robots are calling me, guys. Yesterday, I took 2 robot calls looking to sell me agent leads, I believe it was. God knows where that came from. And I said, "Are you a robot?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm a little embarrassed you outed me." That's what the robot said. "But I can make sure that a real person calls you if you're open to it." I said, "No, thanks." She goes, "No problem." The reason people are deploying robots to make calls is because they're lazy. They think that's a scalable way to hit your database and nurture it. Maybe it is. Maybe it'll get good enough that it can do that. But until then, to Aaron's point, how do I make effective calls? Think of who you're calling and change. I'm going to move on. Tanya, I'm pretty good at making calls, but how do I come up with hooks that really click with people and actually get them to talk? Exact same answer. Think who you're calling. What would they be frustrated with? How can you resonate with them? What am I referring to? Let's say I'm in Don Mills in Toronto, Ontario today. Don Mills is a neighborhood. And I'm a listing agent. Let's say I work here. What do I say when I call the neighborhood. I can do many things. So effectiveness comes from care. People are smarter than you think. People are more intuitive than you think. People are also busier than we think. So, first and foremost, good morning, Tanya. My name is Simeon Papailias, and I am a broker at Royal LePage Signature at Don Mills. I'm giving you a call this morning to let you know of a couple of things. First and foremost, I'm working on a fundraiser. Remember what I used to do with door knocking. I'm working on a fundraiser that is going to benefit the local hockey ring. I am working on building my business over the summer months for the fall, and I'm looking at who is interested in possibly making moves or knows people who want to buy in the neighborhood. I'm building a list basically, and I'm trying to get to know everyone in the neighborhood. Have you ever thought of selling, or do you have anybody that's looking to move close? Do you have any family that's coming in close? Start a conversation. Keep it moving. They don't know you, and they don't owe you a single thing. They're busy. Their kids were screaming about an iPad. Husband's out too late. Whatever the case may be, everybody's got problems. This is why I said you're going to make 50 calls to have 10 conversations to book 1, 2, or 3 appointments. So when you're asking, what is the hook that I can really click with people? There is no hook. There is, my name is Simeon Papailias. My name is Tanya Presser, and I am an agent that works in this neighborhood. I'm looking to elevate my database, elevate my connections, never call them a database, excuse me. I'm looking to grow my connections in the neighborhood while fundraising for the local ring, for whatever the case may be. I've been at this here for 6 years. I love this neighborhood and I would love to meet you. If there's anything I can do to bring you value, please let me know. Whether it's understanding what your home is worth, understand, like if any of the kids are going to university, they need anything. Start the conversation, get value. Next time I'm in the neighborhood, I would love to pop by. I actually have this really cool thing that I give every year. These bulbs that are tulips, whatever, calendars, Popeyes. That's where cold calling can lead. Moving on to Lindsay. I was wondering, is there ever a good time to ask a homeowner if they happen to know whether any of their neighbors might be thinking about moving? Yeah, I mean, you can ask anything you like. That's kind of where I was just going with it. Because you don't have a lot to say. Are you looking to sell your house? No. Okay, bye. That's not a call. If you do that, you're going to fail. There's nothing there. Because who are you? Why would somebody talk to you? So going back to it, to the conversation, my name is Simeon Papailias. I'm giving you a quick call right now because I have a few buyers that are looking to sell in the area. I understand you're on Oriole Drive. I have 2 buyers looking to get on Oriole Drive. Do you have any intention of putting your home on the market? Because I could probably save you thousands. Oh no, we're not selling. Our kids are young. I understand. Lindsay, this is where you drop it. Do you have any clue if any of your neighbors are about to list? Has anybody been talking? Because I'm thinking maybe this weekend I come in, meet a few people. I would love to meet you, by the way. Even though you're not selling, I would love to meet with you. You've been so kind. Lindsay, confirm I got to you where you wanted to be and maybe that I gave you a solution. Or would you like me to take another context at it? Tanya, what's the best way to quickly debrief a failed call so I can extract lessons fast instead of logging the negative dial and moving on? Just think about it. Like repetition is your friend. Putting in the reps. You got to put in the reps. The anatomy of a failed call is whatever. If you keep failing, well, it's something you're saying. So you got to adjust quick. Just be intentional, be in the moment, be objective, jot down maybe a few notes from each one, but I wouldn't overthink it. As the kids say these days, it's not that deep. So just move on. Lindsay, thank you for answering my question. Simon, really appreciate the insight. Great. Thank you for answering. Although I just joined quite busy this morning, I suppose there will be a replay. Of course, there will be Alex Brown. Of course, there will be a recording. And actually forgot to mention this morning. The reason we were 2 minutes late is also Sabina wasn't able to get on. She wasn't feeling well at all. And she asked me, like, are you able to handle it yourself? And I said, absolutely no problem. So she'll be watching. She's going to be getting all the resources out to you guys this morning. The team is working on that. But yes, there will be a replay. Ideas for who to call. Obviously, expireds we covered, FSBOs we covered, just listed, just sold neighbors. I mean, I wouldn't cold call them, I would door knock them. That's kind of like the low-hanging fruit from a door knocking perspective and open house perspective. You're going to hit them up on a myriad of occasions. Past clients in Sphere, warm calling. I mean, again, if you don't call your warms first, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you make a single cold call before you do your warm calling, you have never met me. We don't know each other. We got nothing to talk about. The gold is in your database that knows you. Most people are embarrassed to call their friends to talk about real estate. Why? Human nature. I don't know why. I don't share that feeling of shame to do my work. Other people do. As a matter of fact, most people do. They don't want to come across as objectifying their friends or, like being too direct. I don't know. Why would I ever talk to my friend about business if he wasn't in the mood for business? I wouldn't. So I use common sense. If I'm throwing an event about real estate, I'm going to send it to everybody I know. If they put up their hand, they're welcome to come in. I'm going to speak real estate with them. If I have my assistant making calls to my friends into my database to invite them to the said event, why would I skip over someone? How do I know if my buddy George is looking for a condo for one of his kids? I would not know unless I asked him. Hey, George, I'm throwing an event. I'm working with a builder over here. It's a beautiful opportunity. You may want to take a look. Oh, you know what? Maybe my mom is going to retire. Maybe they'll go there, or maybe one of the kids. Oh, now we're talking. So remember the difference. Cold calling is absolutely shots in the dark. But if you put up enough work, you're going to reap rewards. Why? Because you're having conversations. Warm calling is not the same, and that should be always and forever. Always and forever. Where do you get these lists? There's various sources in various markets. I personally haven't done cold calling in probably over a decade, myself personally for business, because I have a massive database of warm calling. So me personally, I have not done cold calling in a decade. When I did cold calling, I was the expired converter king. I love expired listings. I strongly recommend them to everyone. You can get them always and forever in 2 seconds on the MLS. They're always recent ones, terminated, expired. Tons of them. Tons of them. As a matter of fact, I used to build packages. Early on in my career, I would have my assistant create packages that I would drop off at their homes. Hard, like a package, with my big noggin right in the middle of it. Why? Because I'm looking to make an impression. They're disappointed. They don't like agents. They were failed by an agent. Simeon for the rescue. That's what you need to be. If you're going to go cold call anything, FSBOs are 10 times more difficult than expireds. And expireds can convert quickly and easily. So that would be my advice to everyone. If you want to get up into that type of business, you're going to enjoy it a lot. Other than that, guys, I have a bunch of resources for you. You're going to be able to see kind of the scripts. Make sure you always include your community involvement. Make sure you're always talking about the community because you're always community first. The more you do that, the more community driven you become, the better human you actually become, and the better your community becomes as a result of it. So you can start selfish if you want, that you're just doing it to be the good guy or the good girl. but you become it. And that's how community changes and it becomes pretty awesome. It's 11:42. I've rambled on way too much. I respect you. I wish you the absolute best Monday ever and the best week ahead. Drop in the chat a goodbye or any last ideas for me to be able to take back, and we'll get you all the resources and a recording right away. Bye from the entire team, guys. Have a good one.